Hi everybody, this is Oksana and today I'm going to show you how to make this little, it's either like a little tree, looks like a palm tree to me, or a flower pendant. And this type of thing is one of my favorites because it uses only one piece of wire and a bead. So I think it's great for beginners because of that. So if you want to see how I made this pendant, or both of these pendants I guess, but this is the one I'm going to be demonstrating on. Then just keep watching and I will list everything down below in terms of the wire and everything, so you don't have to remember and like keep rewinding or anything. I'll write down the length and the sizes of the wires used, or the one wire used, and the bead. So let's get started. So I'm starting out with some round, dead soft 20 gauge copper wire from Rio Grande. And I have a nice long piece because I don't know how big of a bead you all will be using, but my bead is actually quite small, but I didn't want to cut a super, small piece of wire. It's better to have more. So mine is 17 inches, and then my bead is about 20 millimeters, so or 3/4 of an inch roughly to there. And I kind of forget what stone this is to be completely honest with you, but it's a green bead. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my wire and I'm gonna find the middle of it by just kind of gently folding it in half. Now you have lots of options here. You can make sharp bends or you can make more rounded bends. I'm gonna do more rounded, so I'm gonna hold it with my round nose pliers, and the little bend that I have made is rounded. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bend this up, and I like to just kind of do this all by hand and just eyeball everything rather than being really specific and measuring things out. Basically, I'm going to be making a lot of these. These are like flower petals, and they're going to be rounded here on the outside, but here on the inside, I am going to squish it with my pliers, like that. Okay. And I'm going to make 5 of them. So they will be like not perfectly even and stuff like that because I am just kind of doing this in this manner. And I like that. I think it's just kind of a more natural depiction of, it can look like a little palm tree or a little flower, but I think it looks, more like real life if it's not perfect. But if you, want it to be really symmetrical, then you can just kind of measure everything out and all right, so that is 4. We're gonna need one more after this. And by the way, you don't actually have to do 5 petals like I'm doing. You can do a different number. I just happen to, do 5, but you can do more or less. So I'll zoom in on it in just 1 second to show you guys, but I'm just making that sharp little bend and that last 5th petal. So here is how it turned out. Kind of looks like a little hand, 5 fingers. So what I'm gonna do now is bend these wires like that and bring them all together like this. When you bring it together, go ahead and crisscross them and twist them like this. Okay, so now it's time to just rearrange our petals a little bit. Since they're all kind of bunched up there, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab them with my pliers and just kind of rearrange them so it looks a little nicer. Like that. That looks good to me. If you have a hammer and an iron block, you can go ahead and hammer this, but you by any means don't need to do that, so I'm going to not do that. And now I'm just going to lay this on top of my stone. And that looks good to me, so I'm going to take my wire, one of my wires, and I'm going to slide my bead onto it. All the way down. Now I'm just gonna lay my flower up, and then the other wire, just gonna put it going up the back like this. So now we have one wire coming through the hole of the bead, one wire in the back, and our flower on the front. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this wire that's going through the bead, we're gonna bend it down, 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 and through that top flower petal, just like this. And now we're just gonna give that a little gentle pull, not too hard, but just enough. There we go. Just pull on that, and then just kind of gonna straighten it a little with my pliers. There we go. Just like that. And if that kind of shifted your little flower out of place, you can just go ahead and fix that up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take these two wires and I'm gonna twist them together like this, and that's gonna form my bail. And I'm just gonna get in here with my pliers and just twist a little tighter because I couldn't quite get that to twist all the way down. Okay, so now this is our bail. So with our bail, we're just going to bend it forward a little bit, and then we're going to bend it back. Okay, make the bail however big you need it to be so that your necklace fits through it. So you can see we have a little extra wire here. If your bead was a little bigger, then this wire would, still be adequate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just lifting this back wire up with my plier. See a little gap that got formed? Now I can take these wires and I can just pull them through that gap. So one wire from one side and the next wire from the next side. So all we have to do now is basically just trim these and hide our little wire ends so they don't get all pokey on the back here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is have the little wire ends point back towards the back and then pinch them close so that when you touch it, there's no wire ends to hurt you. Okay, and then I'm just gonna fix up the bail so that it's not crooked. If it got it all kind of discombobulated, you can kind of fix that up. There we go. And that's pretty much it. If you're not satisfied with your flower, you can play around with it a little more till you get it kind of to the right look. But I think it either looks like a flower or a little palm tree. So that's it, and here's another one that I did earlier, and I oxidized it, and the flower or tree came a little bit, ended up being a little smaller, and because of that a little taller. So I just wanted to show it to you for something just slightly different. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.